welcome in, Lost Boys and Girls. It is I, the Peter Pan Boy, back with another video for you guys. Today, I am so excited because, of course, this is the first video back on the new part of the channel. If you saw the update last week, obviously, my computer crashed. It got it fixed. Now I have the ability to do videos again. So today, I wanted to share with you something really quickly. I saw this article about 2 or 3 months ago while my computer was down, and it's about a year old, almost a year old article, and I just wanted to clarify some stuff for you guys, in case you're wondering what it's like being a cast member. You know, I will say I don't have tons of experience. I was only there about 3 months, 3.5 months maybe, unfortunately, before I had to leave due to health issues, but I am planning on going back very, very soon. A lot of you guys wanted me to apply as soon as I can, so I will be doing that as soon as I'm able to. So, this is our article by BuzzFeed. If you see me looking down, it's because I got my notes right here. But we're going to play some cast member fact or fiction. So, number one usually goes, are there tunnels? So yes, there are in fact tunnels. However, they are only at Magic Kingdom. And the reason for this is when they started breaking ground in Florida here, obviously Florida is a lot of swampland, especially Central Florida is a lot of swamps, and not so solid of a ground. If that makes sense, it's harder to sort of build into the ground. As far as basement wise, a lot of buildings here don't have basements, because it's harder to get a set foundation on that. So Walt wanted to do, an easy way for cast members to get around, so that Mickey and his friends can walk around the park or get to one area quicker than maybe, say, trying to walk through the crowds. So obviously, they have to go through tunnels. Well, they started to actually build up. So all of Magic Kingdom is actually technically on a second floor, if you will, second floor. And you actually notice that when you're walking in to Magic Kingdom from, say, the monorail or the ferry boats or a bus or, however else you get there, you actually walk up a slight hill into Magic Kingdom. So you actually realize that it's just a lot of people subconsciously don't. So yes, there are tunnels. It's literally just a tunnel. There's not a lot of stuff down there. There's some break rooms, and some storage area for a lot of stuff. That's also how a lot of the nice sort of fine dining restaurants in Magic Kingdom, such as Cinderella's Magic Table or Cinderella's Royal Table and the Beauty and the Beast restaurant, they might have some stuff downstairs as far as their kitchen and stuff. So yes, there are tunnels. There's really nothing down there. It's just so that people can get around the park easier without having to walk through crowds. So number two, it's not really a fact or fiction, I guess, but the costuming. Obviously, if you're a Disney fan like I am, you've heard this. You do not have a uniform, you have a costume. You are part of the show, you are part of the experience, so you wear a costume. Obviously, that means you go to costuming. So every park is different, and every section of the parks are different, which is why the costumes are different for different people. But I will say costuming is awesome. It's super easy. I'm sorry. Costuming is awesome. It's super easy, super fast to use. Everything's now electronic by sensors, so you know exactly what you have. Rented, it's like renting. So you basically go in, let's say you need a shirt, or you need another pair of pants or whatever. So you go in, you find your pair of pants, you scan your ID, your blue ID, and then you scan the item, and you basically, that's now, checked out to you. So you don't want to lose those, obviously. But also the cool thing is sometimes, depending on what your role is, you get to see some entertainers' costumes. I worked really closely with the Frozen sing-along show, as well as the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, so I got to see a little bit of their costuming building as far as the performers, and it's really awesome. Really, really top-notch people work there, and that is a job. You can actually get hired in costuming, and it's awesome. They're hardworking people, and they're fantastic, and they really help you out a lot. So yes, costuming department is amazing. Third thing, what happens if you lose your name tag, or you don't have your name tag? Well, I'll put it this way. If you ever see a Chris from Orlando, odds are they're not Chris, and they're not from Orlando. That is true. That rumor is true. Most places have 2 or 3 Chris name tags from Orlando. I don't know how this started. I'm not going to lie. I really don't know how this started. It's something that it is. I had to wear a Chris from Orlando one time, and I had 2 name tags. And somehow I forgot. I thought I had took it off in my car after work the night before, and I guess I didn't. And I somehow forgot. So yes, if you see a name tag of a cast member from Chris from Orlando, odds are they're not Chris and they're not from Orlando. Unless they are. It has happened. I did work with a Chris who happened to be from Orlando, so it worked out. Are there cast exclusive parties? Yes, there are. They happen a couple times a year, and usually it's park exclusive, meaning it'll be for your park or your work location, maybe. They're pretty awesome. They definitely try to take care of their cast members at Disney. Are they perfect? No. No company is. But I will say, having worked for 3 months, I loved it. Some of the parties are awesome. You also get to do special backstage tours sometimes, such as touring the backstage areas of certain rides, attractions, shows. A lot of times they'll have those like with the lights on, so you can see the actual workings of things. And of course, there's special access parties to parts of the park after hours. So it's pretty awesome. If you ever have a chance to go on one of those, highly, highly, highly recommend it. Definitely recommend it. So number 5, I get asked this a lot. Because I worked at shows. I worked at 2 different shows, and those have set times because obviously the actors and the technicians, the performers and the technicians have set times. We are there to facilitate and help them. They are performing the show. We are just sort of part of it. So we have to stay on schedule. They are really strict about that. You really don't want to start shows late or rides. You want to keep lines moving, people going, because obviously it's a numbers game. And unfortunately, there's not anything we as cast members can do about it. We do not get to pick the schedules. We do not get to pick how many people we get. It is what it is, so sorry, not sorry. But as far as fast passes, it all depends. Shows usually sort of just merge together anyways. Rides, it just depends on who's working. But I would say if you have a fast pass for a ride, stick to that time. Double check those times if you're not sure or if you're really worried about missing it. As far as meet and greets, that's it, because they have to do other things. Mickey has to feed Pluto. Pluto has to eat. Minnie needs to freshen up her makeup for Mickey. So there's certain things that we don't have control over. And yes, we understand that so-and-so from, you know, Sandusky, Ohio or whatever, this is their only time and, you know, they're not going to be able to meet Mickey again today. Sorry. Like, you know, we don't have really a whole lot of power as far as cast members, especially like general cast members. Very rarely will you see like an area GM walking around. They're usually in their office, but usually cast members in uniform with a name tag, we don't have control over, and we have to follow instructions. So sorry. It's not personal. It really is not. I got yelled out a couple times because they had a fast pass and they didn't make it in time, and we had filled up our show and they had to come back, or they had to change their fast passes, and I was told that I ruined their vacation. I'm sorry. You know, I really am sorry if that really did happen, if that really ruined your vacation, but we got to move forward. Number 6, do I stay in character after I'm off? Yes. Until you take off your uniform completely. So it's not just like the overshirt or whatever. Until you take off the uniform, you are representing Disney and the Walt Disney Company. So if you leave work and go to a gas station and get some gas and get a soda or whatever, and you're saying this and that, or you see something, whatever, if your name tag is on and you're in uniform, yeah, you're representing Disney. But on the plus side, when I go to the parks, when I went to the parks, yes, I still treated people like I was at work. And my roommate, Jordan, did this all the time. Whenever we were in line for something, if there was a little girl or a little boy, he would always, you know, he would ask, are you having a great day? Are you having a magical day, princess? Prince, you know, how are the sun? You know, all this stuff. Like, we're still building the story for you because it's an overall experience, and we as cast members tend to love what we do and want to create that overall experience for you no matter what. Cast member point. Yes. First off, I still do it. I did it a lot at work today, in fact. And it's the 2 fingers or the whole hand together. There's a couple reasons. Obviously, 1 finger can be disrespectful in some cultures. I don't know what cultures, but I've been, you know, obviously that makes sense. Also, Walt was a heavy smoker, and he would always point with 2 fingers because he always had a cigarette in his hand. And it just sort of expanded from that, and it's a cultural respect to everybody. You still do it. You get into the habit of doing it. I do it all the time when I'm pointing at stuff. I do that, or I go the whole hand, whatever. So yes, even in parks, even when we're off, if you see someone doing that or that, they might be a cast member. So yes, the cast member point or wave or whatever is 100% true. Is it fun to go to a park with a cast member? Yes. I think that we are some of the best people to go to parks with because even if it's not our park, we know them inside and out. We are expected to know as much as we possibly can about everything. Now, that might seem daunting, and it is a little bit, but you get these things you get these little pamphlets, and they, you know, every week you get, okay, when's this time, when's this show, all this stuff, blah, 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 where is this? You learn all about that in onboarding. So we pretty much have that memorized. We know where certain cues will go. We know, you know, good times to ride certain rides. We know how early you want to get in line for a show or Fantasmic, or when you want to find a spot for the fireworks. All that stuff because we live it. We are there all the time, constantly working. Is the Disney look real? Yes. Right now, my hair is probably as long as it could be for Disney. Obviously, no facial hair except for a full mustache or a full beard. No goatee, no sideburns. All of this would be shaved. If I kept the stash, I'd keep it. All of this would be shaved. No piercings. You are allowed to have one in the earlobe on each ear, and that's it. Tattoos have to be covered at all times. So I had a short sleeve button-up shirt for work, so I wore white sleeves on both arms every day. Any tattoos on your legs, they have to be covered as well. You could do that either with sleeves, pants, various versions of the costume, or makeup. A lot of people go with makeup. If I just had this one, I would probably just do makeup on it. I also wore my watch a lot. That is part of the Disney look. It has to adhere to certain things. Name tag, you always have to have your name tag on. All this stuff, yes, Disney look does exist. Yes, they are very serious about it. I had one time where I thought I could get away with an extra day of not shaving, and I showed up to work, and they handed me a razor, and I had to go in the bathroom and shave. Because, yes, Disney look is real. Disney look is real. Yeah, I still fanboy over Mickey Mouse. I did all the time. I mean, that's my boss. That was my boss. Most people consider him their boss. He signs my paycheck every week. I got a paycheck, and Mickey Mouse was on it. So yeah, that's our boss. Yes, we still love Mickey Mouse. Yes, he's still, important to us. This next one and last one for this video is really hits home for me. Time after time after time, please listen to the cast members. If we tell you to stay behind a yellow line, a white line, any line, stay behind that line. If we tell you to stay behind a rope, stay behind a rope. If we tell you to get off the ropes, get off the ropes. Look, we are there to enhance your experience and everyone else's experience to the full. So, white lines, yellow lines, ropes, they're usually there because either a door is going to swing open or close, or the ride is going to dock. Something is going to happen. If you cross the yellow line, it is considered unsafe. And as any cast member knows, or any aspiring cast member knows, safety begins with me. I am in charge of safety. I am responsible for safety. Every person that works as a cast member is responsible for the safety of themselves, the cast members around them, and of course, the general public. We are all responsible. There is no one that can slide by, not follow the rules. Everything is ruled. Every rule has a reason. There are certain things that we cannot allow you to cross. Sorry. There are certain areas that are for cast members only. Sorry. Please, 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 if I ask you to stay behind the yellow line, stay behind the yellow line. And I mean behind the yellow line. Not on the yellow line, not just barely over the yellow line, behind the yellow line. Please, this goes for everything. Ropes, fences, lines on the ground, they're there for a reason. Please, please, please stay behind them and follow directions of a cast member. Alright guys, this is a long video. I apologize, I didn't realize how much I was going to talk. But there's 11 for you. I will post the next 11 for you, and we will see you next time. Definitely click the like button and subscribe here on the Peter Pan Boy channel. Signing off. Have a good night, guys.